I don't know whether God exists or not, but I do believe that there is a God. I also believe that there is more evidence for the existence of UAP than there is for God. But enough of that. My question for you is, if we were to learn that UFOs exist, would that be a catalyst for perceiving more closeness with God? Or alternatively, would it be a catalyst that would engender a feeling of more distance from God? That is the question we're going to explore today in this video. What triggered this question in my mind are two tweets that were written by the current owner of Skinwalker Ranch, Brandon Fugal. Here they are. Here's Brandon Fugal's take on the nature of the phenomenon. The evidence suggests that there are a diversity of origins, agendas, and types using advanced physics and technology. Is it multidimensional, extraterrestrial, or ultra-terrestrial? Yes. Are they all playing by the similar rules or common rules of engagement? No. I believe the universe is not unlike our own planet or neighborhoods. There are benevolent, disobedient tricksters, and neutral actors. There must be some rules of engagement established through the ages, even though some either disregard, violate, or modify them. Now imagine if Fugal's take is accurate, that there are extraterrestrials from other planetary systems, there are beings that are somehow native to our own planet but have been capable of concealing themselves from obvious detection, and there are beings that come to our planet, or maybe even are sort of parallel neighbors to our planet from other dimensions. Imagine the complexity of that. Now, for me, if that ended up being true, that would create a profound level of awe for existence. In the same way, maybe that a parent who sees their newborn child for the first time may feel a sense of awe for existence. Or if you see a sunset, or if you see an immaculate mountainous landscape, it can engender a feeling of awe for existence, for reality, even if you don't believe in some sort of higher power or higher intelligence that spawned this plane of existence. And I will tell you, my own assessment is that if such a complex tapestry ended up being how our universe truly is, with so many layers of life, for me, this would inspire me. This would create awe within my mind. It would lead to me having a greater feeling of wonder for God and for existence. It would not, as I think some religious fundamentals believe, lead me further away from God. It would not lead me to degeneracy. If anything, it would inspire me to have greater respect for my fellow human being. Now, why would that be the case? And the way I see it is that the more awe you have for your God or for existence, that seems to find a way to trickle into altering how you perceive your fellow human being. Because our fellow human being is part of this expansive reality that we all live in. So discovering that the universe is more complex than we ever imagined, and that potentially our Creator saw to it to not just create human beings, but to create ultra-terrestrials, meaning, let's just call it, other human beings on our planet that concealed themselves from detection somehow through, maybe they live in the oceans. I have no idea. But God potentially also saw to it to create sentient beings on other planets and in other dimensions. That's amazing. That's beautiful. If there is a God, wouldn't you want our beautiful Creator to create as much life as possible, so that there be as much potential as possible for entities to experience life. Now, some of you may be real concerned at this point, thinking I'm starting to change the approach of my channel. And that's not actually true. For one thing, I've been working very hard on a disclosure update that I should be publishing relatively soon. And for two, what I'm doing right now is actually what we as a civilization are going to do in a post-disclosure world. We are going to start having these kind of conversations. If I'm right, and let me tell you something, this is the message that I have been expressing since the inception of my channel. I've been telling you all that on the basis of my analysis, for whatever it's worth, we are moving toward a post-disclosure world. You all know my definition of disclosure. It's that world institutions accept there is an unknown presence on our planet or visiting our planet or both. And so if there is an unknown presence and it finally, the evidence gets released in which the world institutions can't argue against it, then we enter a new paradigm. And if we don't have 100% certainty where this presence comes from, then we're going to all be having conversations just like the one I'm having in this video. So this is actually an exercise in realism. This is not pie in the sky. I'm simply giving you a taste of what's coming. Because I do believe the United States government has forensic data 100 times over proving there is an unknown presence. And I also am under the impression the US government doesn't know where it comes from. They just know that it exists. In fact, here's a fascinating tweet by Luis Elizondo where he stated that ATIP, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, actually had the clearance to be given data on where this presence comes from. But according to Elizondo, the US government simply doesn't have anything definitive on where this presence, actually comes from. Here's the tweet. So the weather balloon wrote on October 14th, if the ATIP staff didn't have the required clearance on information that regarded the origin of the UAPs, why did Lou Elizondo mention the phenomena as being off-world? What's the criteria for labeling these objects as extraterrestrial? Elizondo responds, ATIP had the required clearances regarding the origin. The issue was no one actually knew the answer. And let's not confuse the term extraterrestrial with interdimensional, superterrestrial, or ultra-terrestrial. Lots of other options than simply them aliens out there. So as we passage into a post-disclosure world, and our civilization learns that we are not alone, will this lead to more spirituality or less? Will it lead to more respect for our fellow human being or less? Will it lead to more rational thinking or less? Will it lead to a feeling of more closeness to God, or will it lead to a feeling of more distance from God? I don't know the answer to that question, but I can only speak for myself and tell you that the more I learn about the universe, the more beauty and hauntingness that the universe presents to me, the more inspired I feel to love my Creator and to love my fellow human being. That's all I gotta say. Special thanks to all my patrons and YouTube members. If you'd like to support the channel in this way, there's a link for it below. And thank you for everyone watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.